Hello everyone, Logan here, and today I'm bringing you the first of a series of Risk of Rain 2 tutorials showcasing advanced techniques for players looking to improve their skills. Each of these tutorials will stay focused on one main topic and will cover the ways the player and enemies interact with the topic. Please note these tutorials are made for Monsoon difficulty but can still be applied to lower difficulty runs. If at any point in this video you find yourself confused, go ahead and drop a comment down below and I'll reply as soon as I can. If the question is good enough, I'll even make a video covering it. Alright, now let's get into the video. So, target priority. This video will be broken up into 3 sections. What is it? When should I use it? And what's the best way to use it? And in order to make sure I cover all the scenarios, we will go over early game, mid game, and late game. Alright, so target priority. What does that mean? Basically, target priority is the order you choose to kill enemies in order to prevent damage. Why is this important? Because the game of Risk of Rain is based around time. As time goes on, so does the difficulty, and as the enemies are growing stronger, so are you. But as the game progresses, you quickly find out your weaknesses are always changing. Enemies that were once easy peasy are now hard and very hard, and enemies that you didn't need to worry about should now be a much higher priority. So, when should you use it? As with many mechanics in Risk of Rain 2, it's all based on your luck and RNG. Every run will be different, and in some cases your weaknesses might be different from others. However, this is a good general guideline that I've used in my games to get consistent God runs. So, let's start with the basics. So you just dropped in. Fresh spawn, no items. This is where you are most vulnerable to heavy burst damage. Usually the bigger, more dangerous looking enemies are your biggest issue, and enemies like Wisps and Lemurians are no problem as they are slow and low in numbers early on and can be dodged around with a little jumping. Assuming you are moving through the levels at a monsoon pace, no real priority is needed for your first loop other than focusing the teleporter boss when teleporter time comes. And next up, we have mid-game. Mid-game starts around 15 to 20 minutes. You usually have a couple healing items to protect you from small damage, and a couple damage items to take out the small enemies. At this point, Wisps and light enemies alike bow down before your power. This is also the time elites start becoming more common. Your biggest run-ending enemies are going to be anything that does consistent heavy damage, such as blazing or overloading elites, as well as Titans, Bighorn Bison, and Elder Lemurians. Mid-game target choosing is very similar to early game, aside from you having a couple movement items to help dodge around slow heavy projectiles such as greater wisp attacks. And finally, late game. Where late game actually starts is very debatable, but I like to consider it late game when bosses start spawning commonly and the enemies are overwhelming but you can still deal with them. Like this. It's at this point where target priority can become either the most important or the most useless. But to keep this part of the video from becoming obsolete, let's say this is late game, but not a god run. And I'm certainly not talking about one specific run winning red. Late game is usually the time where one-shot protection comes into play, and if you don't know what one-shot protection is, there's many articles and videos online explaining it, so I will not be explaining it here. With one-shot protection, enemies such as greater wisps and regular wisps that fire multiple shots at once become your top priority. Also, anything overloading will end your run real quick because of the overloading grenades that get stuck to you and you get hit. Other than that, a lot of bosses become very easy later on because of their general low movement speed, so really you just gotta watch out for unsuspecting attacks such as the lightning strikes on an overloading worm or the explosion on an overloading vagrant, because those things will just take you out real quick, knock down your one-shot protection, and then anything can finish you off from that point. Now let's get a quick recap. Early game. Stone Titans, they got a powerful laser, anything blazing, greater wisps. Mid-game, Bighorn Bison, Stone Titan, Elites, Elder Lemurians. Late game, Wisps, small and great, anything overloading, because once again, the grenades will take you out, and especially the overloading worms. And that brings us to the end of our first Risk of Rain 2 tutorial covering target priority. Is there something I missed? Feel free to drop a comment down below, and don't forget to like and share this video with all your Risk of Rain friends. Thanks everyone for watching. Signing off.